Why is the kingside pawn storm key to the king's Indian defense? Imagine setting up a fortress around your king and then suddenly launching a surprise attack on your opponent's kingside. That's what the kingside pawn storm is all about in the king's Indian defense. This opening is famous for its dynamic and aggressive style. It's not just about controlling the center but about creating threats from the flank. Black allows white to build a strong pawn center early on. Then black plans to challenge that center from the side with a well-timed pawn push on the king's side. The pawn storm usually involves advancing pawns like f5, g5, and sometimes h5. These moves are aimed at breaking open lines and weakening white's king safety. The idea is to open the g-file or h-file so black's rooks and bishops can become active and threaten white's king directly. This approach is part of the hypermodern strategy, where black concedes some space in the center but plans to attack it later. Black's typical setup includes castling on the king's side and fianchettoing the dark-squared bishop to g7. The pawn push on the king's side helps black challenge white's pawn chain and create chaos. When white tries to expand on the queen side or strengthen the center, black responds with this pawn storm to keep the game imbalanced. It's a way to fight fire with fire, turning a passive position into an active attack. The pawn storm also opens lines for black's heavy pieces, like the rooks and the bishop, making them more threatening. When the center is locked or closed, direct central breakthroughs are tough. That's when the pawn storm becomes the main plan to generate play. Many top players have used this idea successfully in games, showing how effective it can be. But timing is everything. Black needs to prepare the pawn pushes carefully, making sure they don't weaken their own king's safety too early. When executed well, the kingside pawn storm can break through white's defenses, open lines for black's pieces, and lead to a strong attacking position. So, in the king's Indian defense, the kingside pawn storm is not just a tactic. It's the core of black's strategy to turn a defensive setup into a fierce offensive. It's what makes this opening so exciting and full of chances for both sides.